Hey, a review of our record.
Whoa, snap, read it out loud.
When the shirtless Cliff starts to sing.
Wait a minute. Man, I don't want to hear anything negative. Go on.
Okay. Other than that, he was ably backed by Stone and Jeff and drummer Eddie Vedder.
That's good. That's a good review.
A compliment for us is a compliment for you.
No, man. This negative energy just makes me stronger. We will not retreat. This band is unstoppable. This weekend, we rock Portland. Yeah!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 24 of the Burning Ewok Podcast. I am your host, Justin Granz, and with me, as always,
Chuck Fisher.
And Dan.
Hey,
What's
guys.
up, Dan?
What's up?
What is up, Dan? What beer are you drinking right now?
Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
I love Oktoberfest beers. I think they're my favorite type of beer. Like, if I were to just, categorize beers, Oktoberfest beers are always my favorites.
If I had to pick, I'd say Summer Shanty.
Yeah?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just
not
going
a beer
like
drinker,
just the style of, the I'm not going to get into beers right now. Anyway,
there's a great
a summer beer like a shandy and the Oktoberfest are not far apart from each other. They're both the kind of beers that are kind of thick, strong aftertaste, right? So you're both right.
There you go. I can appreciate that. So I think we should flip how we did it last week, because we said we were going to talk about Diablo 4. So I'm really looking forward to what Chuck thinks of the Diablo 4 expansion.
Well, you guys, dude, I started playing. So this time around, I went as a Blade class, and I focused most of my stuff in the Jackal and the what is it called? The Jackal and the Hyena attack, and I put a lot of focus in upgrading my. So you guys know I'm probably full of shit, right?
Yeah, we know. I can look at because I'm looking at my BattleNet account and it says last time Chuck signed on 7 days ago, which was when we talked during this podcast when you started downloading it.
Yeah.
So did you get that far? Have you gotten to the download? Have you beat the download level?
I haven't played it at all. I haven't booted it at all.
But did you beat the download level? So I need to know if you've at least gotten that far.
No, I haven't beat the download level yet.
So
I don't even know.
Downloading?
Still downloading.
Are you on 2400 baud? What's your internet?
No, I haven't purchased it yet because I was like, it's $40, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, when am I gonna have time to play? And then then I had time to play, but then I ended up sitting on my phone for 3 hours playing Candy Crush Saga. I don't know, man, it's crazy. And now my family's here this weekend. I got a project I got to build.
Folks listening, I just want to let you know we have a Patreon, and if you ever want to donate to Chuck's cause so he could buy the freaking game so we could all talk about it
I
together.
can afford the game. It's not.
No. It's you don't have to be ashamed, man. It's okay. It's okay. There's a lot of things I can't afford either. I'm not buying Teslas and shit and all that other stuff.
Yeah, right.
I had to scrape. I had to go and cut a few lawns to go and get the Diablo expansion. So I did that, and I want to be able to, because I'll be honest, after a whole nother week of playing it, it is the most fun I've ever had playing Diablo.
Oh shit! Shut up, man.
It
really?
Is hands down my favorite thing. I like Diablo 4. In general, I was a huge fan when it came out because it's kind of always what I wanted. But I just felt all right, well, there's nothing else to do after you kind of get through the campaign. There's some fun end game stuff, but I keep finding end game stuff now. It just keeps pouring on more and more and more, and I really I really like runes, and they brought runes back. So like rune hunting's gonna be a thing, and I like that. I like I don't know, man. It's like kind of like there's so much to do. I'm not sure what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You know?
I was looking at Dan's character. He has runes in
Yeah.
some of his stuff. Yeah.
I wish you could have more than 2 of them though.
You don't want to
So,
break
2
two
sets.
Combos.
Yeah, I would like that. Maybe they'll have it later on.
They're pretty powerful right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't think. I mean, when you get to level 16, you start actually progressing into all of the real end game stuff, like get to Torment 4, and you're pushing, trying to push pit levels past like 80. You really start to see that there are a lot of things that are broken in the game for good and bad. Like, so, both broken in terms of like way overpowered stuff, and then broken as in a lot of the content isn't actually working or working the way it's supposed to. So
I
think
had that last week though, just in the regular campaign part of it though. I had a lot of broken things. So
yeah, I mean,
I've gotten through it all now. I've like backed out, gone back to it, and did some other things to trigger it. But it's like today, I had a guy with a blue diamond over his head, and I was clicking him, and he just wouldn't do anything.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean that's a bad bug, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's broken. But I'm talking more like, hey, you go run. Like the new dungeons in the expansion, right? Run the Undercity, and you can add like bargains, and I forget what they call the other one, a tribute to your dungeon run for Undercity, and they supposedly patched it tonight to fix some of it, but like you aren't getting any extra loot or getting no loot at all. That kind of stuff. Yeah, so I mean, it's like not much point other than the fact that it's a really cool dungeon, but the rewards are all broken right now. So I mean, I could go on, but I think I want to absorb the new patch tonight that came out this afternoon before I comment too much more, because I've been playing the shit out of Diablo 4.
No,
but all the stuff you're talking about though is the stuff that's going to get fixed. Obviously the little bugs and everything that gets fixed. I'm not worried about that so much. They're just annoying. When it comes to like loot balance and gameplay balance, man, they're going to tweak it and buff things up and make things broken on purpose for some seasons, and then it's the nature of it, and I like that. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the fun of it, is seeing they release something and see who can break it the fastest. Make the game unplayable. Like some guy was literally like over 1 trillion hit points. I read on Reddit today.
Trillion damage, yeah.
Which was like, I think the highest before that was like, I don't know, 1.5 billion or something.
Well, it was higher, but
was it higher? Yeah, I mean, this is like, it's like, I know this is well over like 100 or 1,000 times more. Like whatever combo they got going, they're hitting at 1 trillion, which is insane.
Like totally extreme, right? These guys are the guys that have all their glyphs level to 100. They've got every best piece of gear, and they're all masterworked with the best results from masterworking and stuff, right? So yeah, these guys are that's the cream of the crop. The average player, and I would say I'm an above average player. I'm not a great player, but with the amount of time that I put in, definitely puts me above average.
I am definitely average.
Yeah, my old build got nerfed, and I'm sure I could modify it a little bit, but I got really tired of doing nothing but, it was literally for the last week I've been doing nothing but evade. Like literally I bound my mouse wheel to evade, and all I do is literally go up and down my freaking evade button, which makes it really difficult to kill bosses, but it makes it really easy to run through like the dungeons really, really fast. So that part was fun, and I think I did a really good job of farming gear and stuff to get me ready for the nerf that everybody knew was coming. So changed my build over today, and we'll see kind of how it goes. But I don't think I'm going to come anywhere close to 1 trillion anytime, and most people will never ever get there. But no, I think the new class Spiritborn is way overpowered, and I think it's a good thing, and I don't think it's bad for the game at all. It's going to get its time in the sun. It's going to keep people around. And it with the Spiritborn class right now, with how fast it churns through content, it reminds me of running Paragon, running Greater Rifts in Diablo 3, and how fast and frenetic and kinetic what that was, just shit flying everywhere. Like, I don't know how anybody keeps track of anything. Numbers like flying so fast you can't even see them, and just lots and lots of fun, and that's how Diablo is supposed to be. And I think it's a great point in the game right now for all of the other faults. It is
so when I boot it up, you're saying that I should totally go as a Spiritborn then?
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Just play it now and have fun. And you can play it. There's like so many ways to play it, right? It's almost like they combined all the other classes into one. And you can play it ranged, you can play it melee, you can play it, I don't think we've even gotten to the tip of the iceberg on what the class can do yet, to the point now where I think by the time that we're done with this season, Blizzard's going to have to really, really nerf it for next season, because it won't be as fun to play it for another full season.
Yeah, right? and on top of that, one of the things that is going to get old with it is the fact that everybody's playing Spiritborn. So when you're on a field, it's like you and 3 other Spiritborns just show up and like take on something. And I get it, and it's fine. And you see like what other people's builds are, and you see them using other things. That's kind of cool, But it'll be nice to get back eventually. I'm still enjoying this, but it'll be nice to get back to when it's more balanced and all the different classes are out there again.
Yeah. Well, I think the only real bad part of that is that everybody's essentially running 2 builds. After tonight, it's probably going to be 1 build until people kind of explore some of the other stuff and see that it is also really good. But it's the Quill Volley. There's probably like 8 or 9 variations of it right now. But Quill Volley is the build right now.
That's what I'm mostly using with Evade.
Yeah, I mean the Evade,
and it's fun.
The Eagle Evade build was like so weird. It was apparently it was really causing all of the lag on Blizzard servers for Diablo. So essentially you could make the skill outspeed the animation, and that would cause you to glitch all over the place, and essentially every time you evaded, it would cast one of the primary skills. And every time you got to the 3rd skill, it would just burst damage out, right? And the build was all geared towards that 3rd skill and bursting that damage. So as fast as you can move your mouse wheel, just damage just everywhere. So yeah, I mean, I was running Torment 3 hordes by myself and pulling in 1,300 of the whatever the currency that you get from there, which was insane, because last season I don't think I got over 400 going solo in Torment 4. And running Quill Volley, I'm at like 750, 800.
Wow.
So it's just how fast it kills the smaller stuff is just insane. So, anyways, yeah, Diablo 4, tons of fun still. I'm probably gonna burn myself out on it in a week or so. I've been playing too much.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of just pacing my way through it. You are 150 plus Paragon levels above me. I just hit 60.
Yeah.
So, I'm having a good time with it. I'm just gonna keep on. I haven't even uncovered the whole new map yet.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of doing things little by little, and I'm enjoying my pace. I enjoyed the campaign. It looks like there's still extra campaign-y stuff to do. So the yellow markers just keep popping up, even though.
So you didn't get to the end of the campaign yet?
Oh, I did.
Oh, okay.
I thought I did.
Okay.
But like,
So
it's like,
you got to the whole Akarat story.
yeah, the Akarat story.
The glowy wolf.
Yeah, with the wolf. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
So
the
there's
end
a lot.
animation and everything, and
Yeah. So it's kind of, I think it was kind of a letdown from the story,
yeah,
right?
I don't care.
Because I mean, it's just kind of they kind of made it sound like the story was actually going to go somewhere, and it really didn't.
No, it just
You
kind of
know,
ends. It just, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but I
it's
mean,
kind of
you know that there's another one coming out too. They've at least promised one more expansion, so
That's cool.
I don't know. Well, it'll be the most expansions the Diablo game's ever had. All the others only had one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, which is
I
crazy to me. I
think
don't know.
Diablo 3 had 2. Yeah, because it
Well,
had,
they released a class, but they didn't release like any extra, like
it was
another act
Reaper
of the story.
Souls, right?
Reaper of Souls, but
Yeah.
that was Reaper of Souls is when they came out with the actual like fifth act or whatever, the extra act with the new area to go through, and then they released like another class, but it wasn't like no new content like other than like raids and stuff like that. It wasn't like a real expansion where it gave you a new campaign. There was no other campaign. So
Okay.
That's what more I meant, like story campaign. They haven't released like more than one per.
Yeah, I mean they did release some additional like small amounts of content in the stories of the seasons that they did, which I thought was really cool. And Diablo 4 definitely needs a lot more content. I mean, the content that we got in Vessels of Hatred is good, but right now it's not enough at the top end. They need some more like big content, like because I mean the damage that these guys are putting out, like these builds that they're coming out with. I mean, it's solely to push pit level 150, and that's the end. That's it. There's nothing tougher than that, right?
But these are also the same people that are going to give me my cow level eventually.
Well, yeah, and
there was some already some movement on that.
Yeah, some new little dungeon that somebody found that had like a cow level kind of name. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's in the game yet. I mean,
you think it'll be next expansion towards the end? That'll be like the final thing that they throw in there.
I think it's a carrot. They just threw out to kind of keep people looking to find something to do. But
I love it. I love it. Just keep doing it. I love the people on Twitch that are just searching, literally,
I think that's cool. Yeah,
all day long looking for the cow level.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Can you imagine if that was your job? I'm just gonna play Diablo looking for something that may not even exist. It's kind of like that Oak Island or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the treasure of Oak Island.
Except it's a video game, which I think they'll eventually add it. Because of course they have to.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? We gotta check out together because you cannot. There's a dungeon that you have to have at least 2 people in.
Yeah, I was in it today.
So you can only get so far, and then you're stuck because you can't.
You got to step on the plates, and my stupid companion won't do it. I'm like, this is dumb.
No, he won't do it. Yeah,
and I realize, I get it. Yeah, so I was in there today.
The rewards aren't great at the moment. I think they need to get like really buffed for the time involved. But I heard that it's actually a ton of fun to do.
Okay.
So we got to try that out. But I think they need a lot more content like that. And I think eventually you're going to see a lot of more like World of Warcraft style events and stuff come over. But anyways, that's all I got to say about Diablo now.
Yeah, me too. Good times. Chuck.
Actually, I have a little bit more about not necessarily Diablo, but about video games.
Okay.
I got a text from my sister earlier this week, and it was like really weird. It was let me see if I can find it. It was very funny. You guys will find it very funny. Okay,
gotta have this. You could have had this queued up while.
I got.
No, I know. Yeah, I realized I have it. Okay. I had it open earlier. So.
Okay.
Anyway. Yeah, are you still looking for it?
No,
you got it.
Okay.
Freaking shut the.
Scroll.
Anyway.
Scroll.
Anyway, shut up, you guys. So she's like, hey, do you remember that game where you were in space and had to pick a red or green button? And then she goes, maybe I'm not explaining it because it's not clear. And I was like,
Space
no,
Quest.
no
Yeah.
idea.
It's
No
gotta be a
idea.
Space Quest.
So like, she's like, yeah, it popped in her head, but she can't like remember, and she thinks it's because she's too old. She's getting old, and she's like, I can't remember it. It's because I'm getting old or whatever. So I started like going through all the game systems we had because we had like Atari and we had NES, the original NES. That's all we ever had. So I'm like, what game could it be? Because she didn't play PC stuff. So it wasn't Space Quest, which was obviously the first thing I thought of, right? So I asked him, like, maybe Asteroids? And she's like, nah, that's not it. The only other space game I could think of was Defender. I was like, was it Defender? And she's like, oh, the game!
It was Defender. So when she says red or blue button, she's talking about on the controller.
I have no idea. I honestly don't. I was just thinking of the games we had, and I'm like, God, the only space games I remember for the Atari were those two.
I don't even think Defender had. Well, if you're playing arcade Defender, it had the shoot button, and then you had the up-down stick with the button on the side.
That was it. The Atari 26 I think it only had
a red
You
button.
only had one button on the Atari 2600.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if it's like in the game, if they were like flashing, like, you know, pellets or whatever. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. But it was hilarious. It was so funny.
Missile
Like-
hand. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Hey, I got two quick game nuggets. So, what is it? The mobile game Age of Empires came out on iOS yesterday. So check it out. The graphics are really, really good. I didn't get very far, but I know you both were interested when I mentioned the other day.
Yeah. So I should download that.
Yeah,
That's what you're
man,
saying.
free to download. I don't know. I'm sure there's add-on shit you can buy. So that was good. And then I went on a journey for video games at work the other day. On my lunch break, I went to GameStop and I bought a physical disc for the Xbox.
Cool.
Which one?
My kid has been trying, he loves soccer, right? So he's been trying to play FIFA. And he's having all kinds of trouble getting EA Play to work with the Game Pass. And I know one of the FIFA's left and one of the new ones is coming in. So I just went in, I bought a used copy of FIFA for like $7 at GameStop. Got him the
Did the person come out of like the cobwebs and like find it? Like, doesn't have a scratch on it.
They only had like 50 games.
Yeah, it's a sad place now.
Yeah. So I like 4 other people went in and bought shit, but they didn't buy any games. They were just buying like comic book stuff and
Funko
figures.
Pops. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they were buying like Stranger Things action figures or something. And some Pokemon cards or something.
I was
like
gonna
that.
say Pokemon cards would be the other thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was kind of sad. But I thought it was kind of cool that I bought it, and so I gave it to my kid, and I didn't know if he would know how to put the DVD in. But he figured it out, and he's been playing on the Xbox, and he hasn't played on the Xbox in months. Right? My kids they play on the computer or they play on their phone. But anyways, it was a trip down memory lane. I thought it was kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Especially
Since none of the new consoles are going to have DVD players. They're going to be add-ons that you got to buy.
I actually saw Xboxes at Walmart.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're everywhere now. Yeah.
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 For a long
Yeah,
time.
no, the
I
only
didn't
one
see
that's still gonna have physical media will be the Switch. The new Switch will have physical media.
Oh,
When
yeah.
is the Switch coming?
Next year. I think it's already in production. They haven't announced anything yet, but I mean there are like specs out there and everything.
Mhm.
And it seems very switchy. Like it's just a better Switch. But the Nintendo market is way different where you've got people that are really, really into a hard copy of a game, you know.
Mhm.
So like
Yeah.
getting, having a hard copy of an original Zelda is a thing, and having that collection, I've got a lot of hard copies of games, and so like I'm at the point where it's like I'm never gonna get rid of those now.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
all the
no
old
way.
discs. I used to trade in quite a bit, or flip them on eBay and get the new games when I was done with them. But
Mhm.
there's some that I'm just glad I still have. I don't
I
think they're
come
worth
really-
much, but
I come really close to getting rid of my Switch every so often, just because we don't ever use it, and I have the Steam Deck. So when I travel, I bring the Steam Deck with. So like I'm traveling next week for work for a couple days, and I'm bringing the Steam Deck, but it's Switch ain't coming. This will probably be like my third trip in a row where I didn't bring the Switch with.
See, I was just thinking I need to start playing my Switch more. But to me, it's I had it and I charged it back up because I hadn't played it in a while. And to me, though, it's my retro gaming system. I don't really play anything new on it. So I've got the hard cart of Final Fantasy 1 through 6 pixel remasters. So I've got all the Final Fantasies there, and I really need to do 6. I've only really played 1 and beaten it, but 6 is like the one where it's at. So I gotta play that one. I've got the Metal Gear collection, and I need to play through those. And so I just have all these old games. And the other thing we use it for is for all the Jackbox games, because it's so easy for me to bring that to my parents' house or wherever for holidays and get everybody around and play those, Drawful or whatever. So that's where I mostly use it, and I should finish the latest Zelda game eventually. I got stuck, and I went and tried to play it last week, and I'm like, I have to get my younger son and be like, dude, where the hell am I? I don't even know what to do here. He'll know because he beat it or got really, he's like way ahead of me,
Yeah. Don't you have a Steam Deck?
No.
Oh, God! I thought you bought a Steam Deck. I wasn't Sherwood.
Sherwood. I thought you bought it. Didn't you buy it from Sherwood?
No.
So he still has his.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if he still has it, but
man, he probably stuck it under a shelf somewhere and forgot about it. I should just go to his house and take it. He'll never know.
You probably can.
Yeah, I should grab it because I think he might have the big one too.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the newer screen one. He's got the older one, but he might have the. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with the screen on, I have the original one, and I don't see any need for a better screen.
Yeah, it was great when I saw it.
Know any better. But I somebody like you who loves the retro gaming scene, the Steam Deck is like huge for that.
I know.
The emulation stuff, like the guys are running like Switch, N64, Wii, all that stuff, and they got these really slick like emulation loaders and stuff that it brings all the the cartridge art and the cover art and everything to go with it. So I'm surprised you haven't gone down that route yet, Justin.
I just haven't. Yeah, I have been tempted. The temptation of the of it is always there for me, and I think there's also the Mister. That's the other retro little handheld thing that I wanted to look into. I don't know. Maybe I get those itches every once in a while. I just don't have them right now. I'll play some Diablo, and then I'll probably go back and play some Switch stuff. That's about maybe for all I know, I'll end up getting in a Rocket League kick again before any of it happens. It's just how it is with me. All of a sudden, I'll just start playing that and like really get into a season of that, and But anyway, all right, video games, cool. You know what else are cool? Murders. And you know where they're awesome at? In buildings. So, I know, Dan, you watched this week's Murders in the Buildings. And Chuck, did you at least do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Of course.
Hey.
Of course.
Hey. Oh, what do you mean, of course? Come on. Yeah. So let's go spoilery. We're going spoilery, everybody. So if you don't want to hear, so we're gonna talk Murders in the Building, and then we're gonna talk Agatha, and we're gonna talk spoilers. So from here on out, as you know, we just say what we want to say, and hopefully you've already watched this stuff. Otherwise, pause it, go watch the shows real quick, and then join back.
Come back. Yep.
Okay, we'll give you a minute. All right, you back? Cool. All right, so. The Westies. Let's talk about them. What do you guys think of this latest episode?
Can I go first?
Absolutely, Dan.
Go right ahead.
All right, man. So I loved it. And I put the parental advisory up there right after the spoiler thing because fucking A, man, it was my favorite episode yet, and I think it's a polarizing episode. I think you're either gonna absolutely fucking hate it or love it. And that's how I think this episode's going to be.
So you say people are going to hate it because the bait and switch that they did on the end of the last episode, and then we find out that they didn't kill Dude Enough. Dude Enough kills himself, and they threw him in the. That's the part I love. That I did not want the Westies to be murderers.
Yeah, me neither.
I didn't want that. I wanted them to be like. I love where this is going because we still don't know who did it, but we kind of know.
Well,
we kind of know. We don't know. We have what? 2 more episodes left? Do we have 2 more?
Is it 9 or 10?
One or two.
There's 10. I think there's 10 in the season.
That was episode 8.
Okay, so we got 2 more. And
have we? So hold up. Have we gotten in the last 3 seasons? Have we found out who done it until the last episode in any of them?
I think it's all been the second to last episode, except for one of the seasons. It was the last episode.
I thought there was like a bait and switch in all of them. Like they built it up so you thought it was who, and it was like kind of sort of this person.
Yeah, I think this is an MO of theirs where they like, because like that's how they ended the last episode. You're like, oh, it's all them guys, and now it's like, oh, it's that guy. It's not going to be that guy. It's just not.
That guy being the Irish version of Paul Rudd.
Irish Paul Rudd.
You know what? At the end of the episode where they show him waking up, like my wife and I looked at each other, and go, "Why was he in the hospital? I forgot he was in the hospital." And like, oh yeah, no, we figured it out. We figured it out right away. We're like, oh yeah, he got shot.
Did his eyes open at the end?
His hand was twitching. He was waking up. He was coming out of it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was shot with the rest of them. Yeah. So.
Who shot him?
Huh?
Who shot him then?
I don't know.
If it's him,
we already know it's 2 people. Right? It's got to be 2 people is my thought. So he could be one of the 2, and the other one was going to kill him because he might have given it up. I don't know. So he still might be one of the killers.
Hey, you got to clean up.
And this other guy or girl is cleaning up the mess and took a pot shot at him. That's where I was thinking, because they still did the whole thing where it took 2 people to shoot and then carry and get the body to the incinerator. So, and that still took 2 people, and they haven't really said anything that would take away from that. So I'm thinking maybe it's somebody else, but I don't know who else in this group. I mean, it's not going to be Molly Shannon, I don't think. I mean,
that would have been too obvious.
And she's kind of nuts, and maybe I don't know. And
so did we establish whether or not the Westies left the notes?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
That in the episode, right? So that was like the big thing, like in episode 6, right? Or 7.
In 7, where they were talking about cleaning up all the plot holes.
Yeah. Yep. So they didn't bring that up at all in this week's episode. So I thought that was kind of like, or I'm thinking that's kind of like, hey, we didn't kind of clear that up? Did they write those or not? I guess it could still be somebody in the building that.
Yeah, and poison the dog. Don't forget they poisoned the dog too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Westies didn't do any of that, or are they just gonna let all the plot holes be plot holes?
That could be. I thought.
Oh, go ahead.
I thought Eugene Levy nailed it this episode. He was so funny. That whole thing about Tony Danza, and then they brought it back to the sauce. Tony Danza's "Who's the Sauce?"
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was so genius.
Well, I'm super excited now because I'm guessing Tony Danza's going to show up in the next 2 episodes.
I would imagine he's going to make
I'm kind of pumped to see an old Tony Danza, because I can't remember the last time I saw Angela.
Oh my god!
So
no, I think you're right. Eugene Levy. I thought the whole shtick between him and Charles, getting him mad, right, was great. And that was just, honestly, it was not classic Steve Martin, it was classic Eugene Levy.
Oh, it was classic both. It was classic both.
Yeah. They were both like,
it was
right
like,
there.
I'm like, okay, there's the Steve Martin, doing his thing, and Eugene Levy. Yeah, it was classic both.
So I think, I want to say Steve Martin's probably like 20 years older than Eugene Levy. So it almost felt like like a passing of the torch, kind of, from Steve Martin to Eugene Levy in that scene to me, just because.
I don't think 20, maybe 10.
It's got to be more. It's got to be.
Eugene Levy's got to be like 70.
I'd
Steve
say-
Martin's
I'll
like
look it up.
80. Steve Martin's like
All right.
80 years old,
Yeah.
which he is the most like in shape, like active 80-year-old I think I've ever seen in my life.
What's the age difference, Chuck? Come on.
Yeah. While he's looking, okay.
So Eugene Levy is 77. Eugene Levy is 77.
Really? Oh, wow. I'm so
Okay, yeah, there we go. I thought he was older. Yeah.
And Steve Martin is 79.
No fucking way.
2 years. 2 years, bro.
Wow.
Yank fans the torch. Here you go, youngin.
But if you would have told me, like that, if I never knew how old those guys were, like I would not think Steve Martin is 79 years old.
No way.
No way. Like,
Eugene Levy might be 77, but his eyebrows got to be like 60.
yeah.
Do you think he colors his eyebrows?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, but that was classic Eugene Levy in that episode. And yeah, there's some classic Steve Martin for sure, but Eugene Levy just nails it, and it reminded me so much of Schitt's Creek. It was just like Schitt's Creek channel there. I don't know if you guys watched that, but
I never watched Schitt's Creek.
I've seen quite a bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That show was fantastic. If you just got to watch the whole thing, but yeah, no, the interactions between those two when he's pushing the omelets off of the table, I was
Hey, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah, does that make
I expected that scene to go on longer. I was kind of bummed when it stopped. I was like, because I wanted to see him get angry, but then, of course, later in the episode, he got angry. But
yeah, no, so what I really liked about it, the whole episode was it was kind of a little bit back to the sleuthing and the revealing, and that I felt like a lot of the episodes this season have been less detective work and sleuthing and kind of whatnot, right?
I would agree. Yeah, it's been more character-y, like based in the characters and kind of pulling some of that stuff out.
It seemed less relevant to the murders, the character building, whereas today, like the character building, or this week, the character building was more relevant to the story and the case. And I don't know. It just seemed like it kind of pulled it all together and it did it really, really well. And the way they told the story of the stories of the Westies was great. I loved it. It was fantastic. The interaction. I love how Christmas lights, dude. I love how he gave his summary of his monologue.
It was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
then he had the more comedic version, which he could do for us also. Yeah,
yeah,
that was pretty good. I'm anything. Yeah, anything. Kumail, I'm in. Kumail Nanjiani is just amazing. I love him. I really like Zach Galifianakis in this episode though too.
Yeah,
I'm not
a Zach Galifianakis fan. Like I love Between Two Ferns.
Oh yeah, Between Two Ferns is genius.
I love him in The Hangover. I can't remember another thing he's in that I really, really like.
Baskets is pretty good. But his line of when they're talking about shotgun wedding, he's like, "You mean more like a musket wedding?" I thought was pretty awesome. But then I really liked his whole when he was like kind of pushing him to be more romantic about the wedding, and then like when he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna do it here at this building, and it means so much," and that I thought it was pretty good. I really liked it. It was finally like because Zach Galifianakis has not really done much in this season.
No,
I thought actually of the three, Eva Longoria was the best of them so far. She's been fantastic in it, and so it was nice to see Eugene Levy and Zach Galifianakis kind of do a little bit more this time around. So, yeah, tight episode.
Yeah, very good, very good. And we've got I think we've got a cliffhanger coming. I think there's going to be a twist at the end. There's got to be a twist.
Well,
right?
somebody's probably going to get murdered at the end.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt.
Got another body coming?
I think so. So I think maybe next week we can do our who's gonna die in the final episode. Hopefully we get like because I'm hoping we get the resolution for the killer next week. Find out who that is, then the denouement, how they kind of solve that, and that person gets put away or whatever, and then at the end we get our murder. That's hopefully what the formula is, so we can kind of talk about it. I guess saying that, do we want to guess who the murderer is right now? Kind of throw it in there, thinking if next week they're going to give it up, do we want to? I'm going to say it's going to be two people, and I think Paul Rudd is one of them.
I think it's too. I think that's too. It's too obvious. It's definitely not going to be Paul.
But I think Paul Rudd is the one that it's going to be the obvious. It's too obvious, but then there was a second one, and that's the surprise. And who that second one is let me think on it. You guys can. If you guys got an idea, I don't know. I'm gonna.
I do.
Okay.
I have a guess.
Okay, let's bring it.
Go for it.
It's Charles's ex-girlfriend, because she's conveniently been slid out of the picture.
Yeah.
Caught her, right?
Yeah, but she already?
Why wouldn't she
showed up in his closet? Like,
why wouldn't she kill? Why wouldn't she kill him then?
I don't think she was trying to kill.
So she was trying to kill Zaz.
Yes.
Out of jealousy, because they were so close.
I think she's just psychotic, and she was helping Paul Rudd just to help him.
Okay. All right. What about you, Chuck? Any ideas?
I don't know. That's a stretch. I disagree with that. I don't think she'll come back into the picture.
She's gonna come back. I don't know if she'll come back this season. She will come back. I think they will have her. They will do more with her in this show, whether it's this season or next season, for sure.
We haven't seen the writers since that one episode where they all got shot. Or where Zach got shot.
There was like almost nobody in this episode other than the Westies, the stars, and the podcast, right? It was basically those 12 people. Everybody else, there literally is nothing else, nobody else in the episode. You don't have Meryl Streep, you don't have the ex-girlfriend, you don't have Howard, you don't have any you have the little the production assistants that set up the apartment when they go to their safe place, right? And that's it. Nobody else is in the episode. Not a single other person.
I don't know. I honestly have no idea. No idea.
I feel like the show does a really good job every season of putting a character.
I just lost Dan. Oh,
what happened?
That's all right. We'll figure it out.
You guys froze on me.
You all froze on me.
All of a sudden, you were just
I thought it was me. So it's you guys. Okay, so it was a Discord.
It was all of us.
Yeah, it was a Discord issue.
Froze.
I'm still recording. You guys both froze, and I'm like.
So you froze first, and then Chuck was kind of moving a little bit, his hand on his chin, and then I'm like, wait a minute. Nothing's going on here. What the hell?
I'm gonna have fun with this when it recorded the whole thing. So it's about 44 minutes. I'll have to check it out and see how that works. So sorry, folks, we just had some technical difficulties. The podcast gods did not want us talking about the ending of the show. I'm guessing Dan probably said it all 100% exactly what happened, and
yeah, absolutely.
And Hulu came down. And it's like, you cannot ruin it for everybody. So, all right.
Hey, can we talk about Hulu for a second?
Sure.
What the fuck is up with Hulu and Disney? Because you can watch Hulu stuff on Disney, but you cannot watch Disney stuff on Hulu. So in Disney, if you search for, murders or any other Hulu.
Really? I did not know this.
And then it'll play it, and if it's Hulu, it'll put in the ads and everything if you have an ad subscription, but you can't search for Disney stuff in Hulu and play it. I was really pissed because my damn car, when I play Disney, it only does Hulu, Netflix, and YouTube. And there's no Disney app.
That's the weirdest first world problem I've ever heard in my life.
It is, man.
My car won't play the Disney Channel or whatever, Disney Plus.
But I can Twitch. I can Twitch all day long. I don't know what I'm going to Twitch.
Well, you can stream yourself driving.
There you go. I should do that. I bet you make a shitload of money. Just try it.
And I'm gonna go to Jewel.
You're gonna need to get I don't know, does the Tesla have cameras already built in?
Oh yeah, there's a camera right in the right above the rear view mirror.
Oh shit. Okay.
Recording you?
Yeah, because it's got a whole it makes sure you have your eyes on the road.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. That whole car is fucking cameras. It does not have LiDAR or radar for sensors. It is like 16 cameras around it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
In Mother Russia, TV watches you.
Sentry mode, man, is fun.
Oh, I have to say, you guys, the Perfect Strangers line in that episode was awesome.
Yeah, I hope we get a reveal. There's got to be a reveal.
What if the killer is Belky Bartakamis?
Oh my god. Or the other dude that played Uncle Larry.
Cousin Larry.
Cousin Larry.
Cousin Laddie.
Cousin Larry. Dude, I cried when that show ended. True story.
I'm mad that Meepos is not a real place. Speaking of not real places, you guys want to go to Westview?
Let's go.
All right. Agatha. Well, I was right. It was Billy Maximoff. I was right.
That's hilarious.
And I was really, really happy that he's looking for his brother. Because that was the one thing.
Cool.
I'm like, if they let that hang, that's kind of dumb. So he's looking for his brother Tommy. I think in the comics he's Speed. He's a little fast guy. And I love that they brought the original Quicksilver from the Fox movies, who was in WandaVision, back as the crazy guy in the parking garage to tell the story of how he was under Agatha's control. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
I was so happy about that. I really liked the whole reveal. I thought it was a little confusing at first, but it kind of like cleared itself up as it went on. By the end of the episode, I think most people probably have a good idea of what's going on with the character. Obviously, you know, in a different body, but at the same time that that everything went down in Westview. What do we think of this episode, gentlemen?
You notice when he went into the bedroom, there was the years from The Wizard of Oz on one of the shelves?
I did not.
No.
Yep.
No, I did not notice that. But I think the most entertaining part for me was when it replayed episode 1, where Agatha thought she was in the cop drama. And it was from the other perspective, where everybody just kind of, you know, because you heard about the townspeople all like, yeah, you were just pretending you were doing the cop thing, so we just went along with it. And when she's actually doing it in her house, you know, and everything right in front of him, and how certain things she could hear, but then other things she couldn't, and just like kind of went through when she was under that trance. Fantastic.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved
absolutely fantastic. So. Again,
also, the way when she came out of the mud and she just looked like grizzled and evil, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Like, the one thing that I didn't get, and I still want answers to, is where was Rio?
Oh yeah, she's not.
I actually thought when they were showing Billy at the end, standing there, and the woman started walking toward, I thought that was going to be Rio. Instead of, you know, I thought she was going to come out and reveal who she was, but I don't know. I guess they're holding off on it. So, yeah, I'm still totally digging this show. It is not letting me down at all. It's been pretty exciting. Every single episode, it's been different, refreshing, just kind of fun. Yeah, Billy Maximoff's character, I really like him. He nails the character. It's like really, really good. He's a very like in modern comics, he's a pretty popular character. And I think he becomes like an Avenger and all this other stuff later on too, and does these things. I don't know if they're going to use him for that kind of stuff. I think he's still going to be more small time. But
you never know.
If they do a Young Avengers, he could definitely go into it. But who knows? You know, that's still probably that's who knows what they're going to do with Secret War. But
the other witches are dead then, right? Like that's what I got from the episode.
Why?
Yeah.
He killed them. He killed the other two witches.
Well, I mean, she says he did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like again, like I don't know. Are they dead for the road? Are they going to come back later? I don't know. Could they come at?
Right.
It's I would not be surprised if they are dead and just completely dead, and it's just those.
Do
those
you
three left.
think this show ends with Agatha dying?
No,
Really?
no, I don't think Agatha. I think Agatha, whether she gets put in another spell, goes off on her own, or I think she will absolutely be sticking around. And I really, 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 really hope that they put her in the new Doctor Strange movie.
That'd be badass. Well, that would be so badass.
The rumor is that Sam Raimi is in negotiations to do part 3.
Yeah,
So
yep.
I'm just like,
I heard
man,
that.
with all the sorcery and the witchcraft stuff, if they could really combine that still. I want to know, like, I don't know, is it going to connect with the Vision show that they're going to have come out later? Are they ever going to bring Scarlet Witch back? My guess is yes, because, they'll pay these people a lot of money to come back and they'll say yes. And they seem to like the roles.
I thought she said she didn't want to do it again.
Oh, no, she said she'd do it again.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she said if they gave her a good script, she'd like it. She'd be back.
Mm.
It's because she loved doing WandaVision. Like, absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it has to, I don't think she had a lot of fun doing Doctor Strange, but she did love Wanda.
Well, she was the bad guy. She's the bad guy in that. Like, Wanda is kind of like a weird, good guy, bad guy kind of character.
Yeah.
And I just really, I really like her character a lot. I think it's really interesting and.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's classic Marvel having those great characters.
Yeah.
Where like, Magneto's a very great character. Scarlet Witch is a very great character. I mean, I don't know, Emma Frost, if you guys remember, the blonde from the X-Men. She's also bad guy / good guy. Mystique goes back and forth also. They've always had Mystique be pretty much, just like in the movies. She starts out bad and then she's good in the last ones. It's just, yeah. Very great characters, and so it doesn't surprise me that they do that. I mean, Agatha is a great character also. I think she's more evil in this than she is in the comics.
I don't know, man. Because she's kind of evil in WandaVision.
She's really evil. No, she's been really evil. Her video, her screen persona, way more evil. Very evil.
Yeah.
I don't really think she's had anything to say that she's been good in any way, shape, or form yet. Actually,
in fact. After this episode, I'm almost like, is this show really about Billy Maximoff more than it is about Agatha? Like, is he the hero of the show?
No, this show is all about Bonerific 69. So when you're talking about like how evil she is in the show, the whole like little monologue that Peter Evans' character gives about like why she made me do all this really bad stuff.
Yeah.
She totally drove down the property value of my house. It was great, man.
Well, did you? And then I didn't catch earlier. She's wearing the T-shirt that said "Boner Family Reunion."
No, I did not catch that.
She's got a T-shirt on, so she's wearing his clothes and doing everything too.
Oh,
So
man.
she's interrogating Billy with that shirt on. It says "Boner Family Reunion."
Oh yeah.
I did not catch that.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Oh, you're right. I got it up on the screen here.
Okay,
That's amazing.
That's great. Oh man, I wonder, are his pictures on the wall somewhere? Like, if you go back and past up like the first episode, I wonder if you see the pictures of him, like family pictures up there on the wall or something.
It'd be worth watching. I wouldn't be surprised.
It might be.
Yeah, they've been pretty good with the details on this one. So
They're
I wouldn't be
very good
surprised.
with the details.
I love the shirt. It says "Boner Family Reunion Picture Tent."
I didn't catch that part. That's awesome.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Oh, man. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So how many more episodes we got? 2?
Well, there's supposed to be 9.
There's 9. Okay, we got 3 more.
So they're gonna have
3
one
more.
this week coming up. So next Wednesday, and then they're gonna do the final 2 on the last day.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 2 more weeks of that, and then I don't think there's a Marvel thing up for a while after that. So
no, but we should watch the Penguin. I got to get my wife to watch the Penguin.
Dude,
I've heard so many good things.
This week's episode will probably get an Emmy nom for the woman who plays Sophia. I can't remember her name. She is so good. It's like a backstory episode on her, and she was the mom from How I Met Your Mother. She's the girl who plays that. God, what the hell is her name? Can't remember her name, but she is so good in the show. And this was a full backstory on her. Very, very little Penguin in this episode at all. Fantastic. I was just like blown away at how good that episode was. You guys have to start watching so we can talk it, man.
Yeah, there was a lot of chatter online, and I didn't read any of it, but I'm like, well, a lot of people are talking about this show right now.
Yeah. So that's 3 shows that we've discussed now that are all backstories. So we had the Westie's backstory, we had Billy's backstory, and now Sophia's backstory.
Who doesn't love a backstory?
I love backstories. Backstories are great. And another one that's got a lot of backstories was the episode of The Bear that I just watched.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I think Sophie, I think is her name also. The Latino cook.
Oh, okay.
What's her name? Forget her name now. Anyway, I've started season 3. I'm almost done. I am cranking through that season. I started it 3 days ago. My wife and I have been watching 3-4 episodes a night. I think we have 2 episodes left. So it'll probably be what I do after this conversation is go up and finish that season. So Bear season 3. I know a lot of people had mixed reviews on it. And I think it's because of the weekly format. Because there's like an episode or 2 in there where really, really slow pace. There's very little dialogue, and it's just like music backtracked. Like I think it's the entire first episode. There's a 9 Inch Nails song that plays through the entire thing off of one of the Ghost albums. So it's just like a instrumental piece that's just like playing in the background for, the half-hour duration, and just kind of going through like the emotions of what each character is doing. Dan, I know you've been watching Bear, right?
I watched the first season. I took a break because I had a lot of other shows going on, and it was really intense.
A lot of anxiety. So my wife
didn't have any anxiety, but it was really, really. It was.
Oh man, I don't know if I can watch it if it's full of anxiety, dude.
It's the yelling, and like it's the dysfunction of these characters, and like they're just like their reaction is like they yell at each other. Everybody's yelling at everybody, and like nobody, and it's like one dude's drive for perfection is what the show is about. And the first 2 seasons to me are absolute perfection. And season 3, I really like it. In fact, my wife thinks it's her favorite season, but it's because there's a lot less yelling in it. It's not as anxiety inducing, and but it's still really fantastic. And they've like really gone deep into some of the other side characters, and I'm happy I started watching this. So we decided to take a break from Fargo. And then we jumped over to this. So after we finish Bear, we may jump back over to Fargo, watch season 2 of that.
Yeah, I did start watching Fargo.
Oh, what'd you think?
2 episodes, and it is fantastic.
Isn't it? It's so good. Okay, so you're like 1 or 2 episodes away from the connection to the movie. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's like episode 3 or 4 where you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. The end of episode 1, which has a kind of like a shocking ending, which I don't know, Chuck, you watched it.
Yeah. You think?
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess I probably won't watch it.
Really? Okay. All right. So can I spoil it? Or
yeah, go ahead. You're not gonna hurt my...
when the sheriff gets popped at the end, and you're like, oh shit, because it built him up. Like half of the show is about him and his character, because his wife and him are having
pregnant wife and everything. Yeah. Oh man, it's like, brutal.
he's like the most understanding guy. He's a good cop. He's,
Yeah, it's
he
sad.
figures it out like the second he walks in. He notices Lester's doing like, he's like pretty shady and like something's wrong. And then he sees the blood and he's like, boom, get on the floor. He calls for backup, and then Billy Bob Thornton walks in. It grabs the shotgun and just boom, boom, and it's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
that just happened.
Yeah.
So,
There's more of that coming up. There's more of that. It's unbelievable. So, have you gotten to Oliver Platt's character yet?
No, I'm like I actually did not finish episode 2. I'm like halfway through episode 2.
Okay.
So I didn't have time to finish it, but yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's like 3 or 4. So when you get to Oliver Platt's character and there's some backstory there, that's where you're going to get that connection.
Yeah. And so I just got introduced to the 2 guys that come to talk to the truckers. Like one of them's the deaf guy, and
the other one's Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah, Jason Schwartzman's the other one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So just got introduced to them, and yeah.
Yeah, fantastic season. I can't wait to see where it goes season 2. So unbelievable. Yeah, but you get to look forward to Key and Peele are in it, and it's just like, oh man, and they're great. They're great because they're absolute bumbling idiot FBI agents. Totally awesome.
Man,
yeah,
awesome.
It's fun, super fun. Good. I'm glad you saw that.
I finished season 2 of Strange New Worlds,
and
I thought it was awesome.
Is it your favorite Star Trek show?
Probably my favorite Star Trek show, to be honest.
Like better than the OGs and better than Next Generation?
It's tough. It's really tough. I think it's better than, it's clearly better than the original series, just because it's written, directed, filmed. The sets are amazing.
Yeah, no, and I give that.
You can't compare it, but
yeah, I give him a break for it. I don't, I'm not gonna knock him for that. And I also include the movies. I include the first 6 movies into the original series also.
Yeah, and that's tough because those movies, that's my childhood right there. But this is cool because you're like getting origin stories of certain characters. Like you just meet Scotty in the last episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty freaking kick-ass.
Oh,
so,
dude, okay, I've got Paramount right now. Maybe I was gonna start Lord of the Rings. I was like, because I need to have like a show I watch on my own.
Right. That you don't talk about.
No, on the just podcast? One that my wife isn't interested in.
Yeah.
Because like my wife is like totally into The Bear. She's into like What We Do in the Shadows and Fargo. So we're like watching all those shows together. And I always like having a show that we get to watch. And then Murder she's watching. But like,
my wife doesn't watch Star Trek.
Every single time I'm like, hey, you want to watch Lord of the Rings? She's like, no.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so I think I was like, yeah, that, and I don't think she'll care about it if I watch a Star Trek show because I watch all Discovery and she didn't watch it.
I'm wondering if I should go back to Discovery and watch it.
You should probably watch it just because it's Star Trek, right? I mean,
I gotta watch.
There's a lot of high highs and there's some low lows for sure. I wasn't super happy the way it ended, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the ride. There's some cool things in it, and it broadened the Star Trek universe more than any other show has.
Okay.
So for that, I like it.
The Gorn. Oh my God, the Gorn, dude.
They put a Gorn in it too. Do they fight?
The whole last episode. I won't tell you anything, but there's a bunch of Gorn in it. That's all.
Nice
to say about that.
All right.
Yeah.
So does it like kind of what's his Pike's character? And you don't spoil it like too hardcore, but like does with what he saw with his eventual demise, does that play into a lot of his decision making in his character?
Season one, very heavily.
Okay.
Very
So
heavily,
that's good.
yeah.
That's good. Yeah, because like I said, of Discovery, you will love season 2 of Discovery just because Pike is like one of the main characters.
Right.
He's so good. It's hands down the best season of all of them.
In the first season, there's an episode that is just incredible, and it kind of ties like the original series and the original movies and everything. It's amazing.
That is also They do that in Discovery also, and that's why I think you
Oh,
should
do
watch
they?
it. Oh yeah, they have
All
an
right, well
absolute.
now I have to watch
They
it.
absolutely bring the menagerie into it.
Oh,
Like
sweet.
it's in it. Like all that stuff is there,
Awesome.
and that whole connection with that girl, and
Uh-huh.
that whole yeah.
Yep.
Like it's like the menagerie. It's in there. Like it's there.
Right. Cool,
So
cool.
A lot of it. So you got to watch that.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know. I don't have anything else to talk about.
I gotta know, are we gonna be able to talk about some shrinking next week?
I want to watch it.
Man,
I have it.
Okay, so what? Okay,
it.
I can't get every single streaming channel. So Shrinking's a show my wife will definitely watch.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I want to watch it.
Watch HBO, or do I get that? And then I got what do I get?
Cough up a buck, you cheap bastard.
Hey, just so that you guys know, we have a Patreon, so you can help Justin with his.
Thank you. There we go.
Position.
That's the kind of plugs I'm looking for.
Dude, could you go on the street corner with a cardboard sign that says "I need to get Paramount" or "I need to pay for
help me
whatever,
pay for my
Hulu or
Apple
whatever."
Plus so I can do a dumb podcast.
I'm not homeless. I just need Apple Plus.
I would bet you money people would give you money. I know they would, because I would. I'd be like, okay, that sounds legit.
Yeah, well, I Jan and I are gonna watch the first 2 episodes. Hit 2 nights ago. Or yesterday.
Yesterday. Yep.
Yeah, and it goes through December 18th. I think is the finale.
How many episodes are there?
There are.
I guess it would be about 10. Okay, it's like 10 weeks.
Well, I think it's like Ted Lasso, right? So no, I think there's 11.
Ooh, that's a weird number. That's weird juju, guys. I don't know if I can watch this show anymore.
No, it's not like if it was 13, I could see you having an issue, but 11's
No,
not bad.
13 I get. They used to do lots of 13 episode seasons.
Yeah,
because it's like half of 26.
Yes,
so you
exactly.
do that. That made a lot of sense. And 13th floor, it's stupid. It's like when they make it just the 14th floor. It's like it's still the 13th floor.
Yeah,
just
I know.
You call it
no,
something
you don't have
doesn't
to tell
mean
me.
Like my son lives on the 13th floor of his building, but it's marked 14th. It's like that this is like all the bad juju is going to happen
I wonder
here
if
anyway.
there is a building that has a 13th floor. Do you think?
Probably in other
That's
countries.
so stupid. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
There used to be people who would not go in the elevator if it had a 13 in it. That's why they.
Yeah.
What?
Our hospitals that have the larger the towers in them don't have a 13th floor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like recently built stuff too.
Just a superstition, man.
Yep.
Yeah. So you gotta. Man, I'm gonna have to rewatch it again if you don't get Apple Plus though, because I want to talk about it when it's fresh, and it's probably my favorite show that's come out in the last probably 4 or 5 years. Maybe.
That won't be a hard sell to get that because we're like I said, we're almost done with the Bear. Maybe we'll go Shrinking before we go back to Fargo. So and that's weekly anyway. So
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Cool. Guess we'll talk about Shrinking next week.
Yeah.
All right.
All right then. Let's put a bow on this hoe bag and cue the music.
All right.
Yeah, wrap it up. Hey guys, leave a comment or I don't know, click that bell. That's important. I'm pretty sure.
And when I post this stuff up here, why don't you hobos thumb
it up,
start sharing it out and everything too, and
I never think of that.
I know.
I'll do it. I'll do it this
time. I usually do.
Yeah. I see you click like.
And I will drop it. I drop every once in a while. I'll drop a random link back to the YouTube video, in the Diablo Discord. So I've been definitely in the Diablo Discord.
That's funny.
As soon as it hits tomorrow or Saturday.
Well, it's one of the interesting things is looking at all the data, and Star Wars episodes definitely poke a bear that bring people.
Oh yeah.
So that is where the Acolyte was where we feasted. So right now we're that was our harvest. Now we're in the winter months where we have to ration and wait for another Star Wars show to come out before people listen. So
we have one coming, right?
Yeah, one's coming.
Skeleton Crew starts, I think, either November or
Yeah.
December, so it's coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So whether it's good or not, I do not know, but that'll be part of the adventure, everybody.
Don't we also have Andor season 2 coming like really soon, right?
That's next year. That'll be after Skeleton Crew. Yeah, it's done and it's waiting, but they're going to do Skeleton Crew first, which is so they're not going to ever do 2 at once. They haven't even started filming Ahsoka season 2 yet. But Chuck, I don't think you've watched Ahsoka. Which one of you fools doesn't watch?
Yeah, I haven't watched Ahsoka yet.
Okay, well you can wait on it now. Wait till maybe it gets closer. I'm gonna do a rewatch of Andor, and that's one thing. If we got some dead space between,
actually, I never finished it.
Oh,
me and Ellie started it, and then she went to college, and then every time she comes back, I'm like, hey, you want to finish that show? And she's like, nah, I'm not interested. So I'm just gonna sit down and watch it.
Well, we could do. I'm in for a rewatch on that.
All right, let's do it.
I mean, we could even make it like a separate episode if we want to just do like an Andor specific thing. And
Sure.
just talk one episode at a time, because and like lead up into the series, because I think there's a lot of meat in that show that we could definitely waste people's times with. So.
All right, I'm down with that. Maybe a few weeks after.
All right.
Yeah.
All
right, guys. Now I'll really cue the music, and I gotta remember to check out that weird air at minute 44. Ooh. Anyway, all right, everybody, peace out.
See you guys later.
Peace.